What's up everyone, welcome to another episode of Garage Topics. Today we're going to do an awesome mod that I've wanted to do for a long time. These seats that come with this car are terrible. You guessed it, we put on new seats. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're not going to be underneath the car like crying and moping and playing violins. We're going to be having a ton of fun and putting in some really good seats. So if you own a C5 Corvette, it's pretty much a known fact that your seats suck. Sorry, if you like them, I don't know what's going on. Thankfully, my car didn't have those. They had C6 seats. I've liked having these C6 Z06 seats in my C5, but I've got some bigger plans. So, we've got empty nester here. They're going on to better pastures. I'm going to sell these right now. They're in great shape. Whoever gets them is going to really enjoy them, but not for what I'm looking for. Comfy highway riding, yes, but for doing some twisties, no. Still, not what I was looking for. I'm looking for a seat that I actually be able to have some bolstering in, be able to take turns in, and actually feel good, and be able to have a helmet on in the car when I want to as well. But at the same time, realizing I'm not racing this car every single weekend. I'm basically daily driving this car with a little bit of autocross here and there. So I wanted a seat that I could get in and out of, but also have comfort, and that's why I went with these Corbeau seats. Oh baby, cut this boy up. Slicey, slicey. These came with FedEx. I ordered these straight from Corbeau, and they came within the week. It was great. Came shipped from Utah. Oh baby, I'm on the East Coast in Bowling Green. Woo! Oh man, it's a lot of stuff. Let's get these out of these boxes. All right, so this is how they come. Super well wrapped. I got 2 seats and 2 brackets. So the brackets will need to bolt to the bottom of the seats. It's good to note that these brackets are specific for the C5 Corvette. You can get them, they've got a bunch of applications. The brackets will bolt to the seats, which they know will fit, and then they've got the sizing right to fit in the car. And one of the best parts is getting some cool swag, so be sure to wrap some Corbeau stickers on the car, in the garage, wherever. All right, let's get all this stuff fully unwrapped so we can actually see how it looks. I'm super stoked. Before I go into details about the seats, look how much packaging was here. This is great. They did a really good job making sure these seats were going to come in fresh. And my Atlanta, they are fresh. These are the Corbeau A4s. And I got them spec'd in the suede, microfiber suede. And so, not only did I do that, that's the color, the fabric that I chose. It's a soft fabric. It looks really nice. And any wear areas has this vinyl kind of leather material on it so that it doesn't get worn out, so that's really nice. I opted to get this 5th harness. It's like an anti-submarine slot put in. When you order that, they install that as well. Not only that, but the Corvette's room inside is so small for a helmet, and for someone like me, it's 6 foot. I got the bases shaved 1 inch. It's an option that you can pick on their website as well. And in addition, I also got lumbar support on the driver's side seat, which kind of looks like one of those blood pressure monitor things. So you can have fun like that and check your blood pressure and make your back feel fresh. So these are rad. I'm super stoked about this. Also got these seat brackets as well. These are specific for C5 Corvettes. So I mentioned that I wanted to make sure that these would fit me well, and also that I could be realistic about this being a daily driver. So these seats recline back and forth, and the seats slide back and forth. So these should be super easy for daily driving. Also, the bolsters aren't too big either. They definitely feel great sitting in them, but it's not too big that's a pain to get in and out of the car with them. So I'm super stoked. I'm gonna sit in them for the first time right here before we sit in the car, because I want to feel what these feel like. Oh man, these feel great. Oh man, I'm so happy with these, because the leather seats in the C6 that were in the C5, they were really comfy for cruising and stuff like this, but my Atlanta, this is feeling really planted, really club dirty fresh in here. I'm feeling good. So Corbeau has these A4s. The width of them, you can find all the stats online, about 19.5 inches wide. They do a good job of showing all the height and the width, so you know what's fitting. They've got these A4s, the Evolution seats, and the Evo X seats. Those are basically the only seats that'll bolt in without having to do a bunch of modifications like Corvette. It's just not enough room. The tunnel's tight, which makes the seat width tight. There's not a lot of room height-wise as well. It's really tough to get a seat in here. I wanted to address this as well. These A4s will fit, but you have to reverse the seats so that the passenger seat is actually on the driver's seat. And what that does, all it does is put the adjustment for the rear of the seat against the transmission tunnel instead of on the left-hand side. The reason you have to do that is because the seat belt receptacle on these C5 Corvettes is so wide against the door. You just have to swap them around. It's really not that big of a deal. These seats, a buddy down the street, Brad, who helped me out with this Corvette, actually has these seats in his car, and I sat in them, and my golly, they are incredible. Looking at them online, I wasn't so sure about them, but if you can, try and find some of these so you can sit in, and I think you'll fall in love with them. So here's the interior. There's basically 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 harness, electrical harness here on the driver's side. The passenger side has the same 4 bolts, no harness though. One thing I did do is I did take the seat belts off the stock seats. I'll show you those right now. We retained the stock bolts for the studs down here, so we've got that, and we've also got the nuts for the seat belts as well. All right, so next day, I at least wanted to sit in these seats last night since I got in late, and they're incredible, but today we're actually gonna install them. There'll be a whole lot more light because it's actually light out, so we'll be able to see inside the interior way better. So let's get to putting these seats in right now. So I got 2 seat brackets, one for the driver's side and passenger side. It says on here, you can check the part number, it also says PS, Chevy Corvette PS 9704. That's that C5 life, baby. All right, so we've got these instructions, really simple, there's no back. This whole project should take less than an hour or so. I'm gonna prove it right now. And the first step is we need to get these bolts out of the seat. 6mm Allen key pops these out. I think it's even like a standard size from IKEA, so if you've got any Allen keys left over from IKEA, that will do the job just fine as well. All right, next step, since we've got all these bolts out, is we need to get one of these bolts onto the slider and then start to finally attach it to the seat. The instructions is to get the slider, which this seat bracket slides back and forth, slide it all the way forward. And what that's gonna do is that we need to put a bolt in here, but right now we can't access it, so we're gonna slide this up to get access to it. This carpet here is from Harbor Freight when I'm moving carpets, make this job a whole lot easier. You can do it on the ground though, or you can even do this in your house, not messy at all. Then see here, the bolts are gonna go into here and then into the seat. And by sliding this forward, it gave us access to that. Slightly tighten them. You can see this whole bracket is loose like this, so we're just gonna shimmy it into place. Now you can see the hole there, but again it is loose, so just shimmy it around till you can see the hole, then start the screw. I need my 2 hands to do this, so I'm gonna do this right now. All right, we've got these started now on both sides. And on this end, we can fully tighten these. So we'll fully tighten these at the back, and then we'll move the slider again to get access to the ones you get to fully tighten down. All right, move the slider up to the front again. Now we can fully tighten these bolts. You can see there's a little bit of the slot in here. It's kind of right in the middle of that. And there's no torque specs, but just by hand, just get these snug as you can. It's that simple. These rails are now ready to go in the car, which is a pretty straightforward process, but before that, I'm gonna hook up the driver's side seat on the foam, on the bubble wrap over there. So let's do that real quick. Should only take me a couple minutes. So if you're taking your time to put these rails on, literally took me about 20 minutes and super, super easy. I've read horror stories about trying to get seats to fit in this car. I'm hoping the same process goes for getting these back in. All right, before we slide these in the car, my interior is disgusting. I've never actually cleaned the inside of this car since I've owned it, so I'm gonna change that. I'm not gonna bore you with that, but in a second, it'll be super clean. Man, that looks way better. This is the cleanest it's ever been. I'll get to that other side in a second, but golly. All right, let's get the seat in. Should be pretty easy. All right, the back bolts are in, the front ones are in. Tighten that down. You can see there's a little bit of exposed floor here. People just get some felt or some just black carpet leftovers from a hardware store. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm probably just gonna get some felt and just shove it in there so you can't even see it. Honestly, probably never gonna notice it that much, but keeping it Club Dirty fresh. All right, I took the seats out. They fit fine, except the seat belt is a little bit funky, and I decided that this little tab here goes into the stock seat to keep it in a certain spot, but it was messing up the angle of this. So now it's super tight in there because it's got this washer here. Also, this is the correct orientation as well. It's not going to go anywhere. It moves for adjustability, which also helps with getting access to this lever. So if you want to tuck the seatbelt down to adjust, you can, and otherwise it covers it. So this is good. Slap it back on in. All right, driver's seat's in. It looks great in here. An issue I had is because the lever's on that side to adjust the back, you need to make sure that lever is pushed all the way down so that it keeps the seat solid in here. Before it was slopping a little bit because the lever wasn't fully engaged the back. So once you do that, it's super rock solid. And man, it definitely does sit lower than that C6 seat. The size of it looks like it's meant to be in here. It's really good. It's tight here because of the seat belt, obviously, but I don't know how you'd get any other seat in here, honestly. Light's kind of crappy in here. I'm gonna pull the car out into the driveway to do the passenger side. Gotta get these bolts out first. Forgot them. I think the only difficult part of getting the seat in is just getting it at the right angle to back that seat. Just slide it in. Man, it's about to start storming real bad. But that's how much I have faith in how quickly I can install this. Boom! Now all I'm gonna do is just put some nuts in. Boom, and it's that easy. Now I just need to tighten everything. No big deal at all. All right, these are the seats outside. They look fantastic. Super impressed, but you can tell there's a little bit of rain on the Corvette, nothing wrong with that. But it's about to storm over there. But look at these seats. I really like the suede in here, and the vinyl here is in the high wear area, so that should last a long time as well. I'm really impressed how these seats look. Man, these seats are super comfy. I mean, I've sat them in the garage, but in the car, they sit perfectly. I'm just about 6 foot. I got a 33, 34 inch waist, depending on when Thanksgiving falls. I fit perfectly in these seats. If you're a little bit bigger, these might be a little bit snug, but as an example, these feel less snug than a Fiesta ST if you've ever ridden those with the Recaro seats. I definitely have more headroom. Like, I can fit my fist and some, and my hair's all puffy too, so a helmet will fit in here just fine. Even if I recline the seat back, it'll work even better. But these feel great. I mean, once we take care of some of this stuff, the interior will be pop in. This makes a huge difference in this car. And I'm hoping that the new car smell comes out in these seats and makes this 2002 car smell a little bit new again. That's all I got. I'm a little bit sweaty from moving around, so I'm gonna go get me a cold beverage. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you've got any questions about these seats, let me know. I'm here to help. Big shout out to Corbeau. These seats are terrific. I was a little bit skeptical at first, but I'm super glad that I went with this seat because it fits perfectly. It was like it was meant to be for this car. Make sure that your dog gets a 5-point harness. We don't have one yet. We're just using the stock seat belts, but if you want a dog in here, get a 5-point harness. Keep him real secure when you're doing autocross. I don't know if anyone allows you to take your dog autocrossing. Probably should check on that. Thanks a lot. Keep it real. Club Dirty Fresh. Peace out.